Hi, I'm Elizabeth with Miss Elizabeth Crochet. It's been a long time since I've posted anything. I don't know. I mean, maybe you've seen my post about my mom dying and the other deaths in my family. Just thought that I would come on and do a little bit of crochet and let you see my face. I don't have very good lighting down here. I'm just on my couch crocheting an iteration of the waterfall blanket. I started this. I did a tutorial on it, and this is the one I did the tutorial with. I just haven't finished it yet, so I'm kind of like doing a whip, and I'm just gonna try to yap and not whine, which is kind of hard to do. My mom's only been gone for a month, so I just cry and crochet pretty much is what I do nowadays. I do some baking too. I don't even know what to talk about, really. I'm trying. I wish this could be like a two-way conversation. That's what sucks about YouTube sometimes, is that you can't really have a two-way conversation. So, you know, most of my news, if you've read my post about my mom passing away, I don't really want to go into the gory details of how that all transpired. She had a good report from her doctors. They all said she was fine, pretty much going to live forever. And then I was going to take her a cinnamon roll that day that I had baked the day before, and the lady that picks her up from church got a hold of me and said she didn't come to the door, and I went and found her, and she was gone. And it's devastating. My kids lost their dad in December. Now they lost their grandma in April. And my family lost so many people in a year's time. I lost a cousin in June, and then my kids lost their dad. He was pretty much my best friend, really. I don't have any friends, and we chatted every day, so I have to say he's my best friend because he's pretty much my only friend. And he passed away just really unexpected. He passed away unexpectedly too in December, and that's when I was making the blankets for my kids. It was because he passed away. It's for the comfort blankets. And I didn't really want to talk about it on my channel because it just kind of, if my kids come back and look at my videos, they're just going to be reminded of a really sad time. And anyway, then my auntie passed away. I think it was January. God, the months, everything just kind of compressed together. She died of cancer, so we knew she was going to die. And she fought it for a while. That was my mom's sister. And then a very young cousin, another cousin, same family, my mom's side of the family. It's my mom's side of the family, the cousin who died in June. Then another cousin passed away, 22 years old, I want to say. I have so many cousins, kind of hard to keep up with how old they are. And I'm the oldest in that family. I'm 54, so these kids are all younger than my kids. Anyway, he passed away just a few weeks before my mama passed away. And that came as a hard shock. So, it was a very devastating blow when my mama came right after that. I don't even know if it was a few weeks, more like 1 or 2. I can't remember what day Colby passed away. It seemed like it was the beginning of April. Might have been March, but I think it was April. Mom passed away April 19th. So, it's been a really hard month. It's been a really hard year for our family. And when my aunties came for my mama's viewing and then funeral, we talked about, so they live in Kansas, and of course we're in Oklahoma, so we don't get to see each other a lot. But we talked about how it feels like an all-out assault on our family. Just a personal assault. Like, what did we do to deserve this? Anyway, I need to quit talking about it or I'm going to cry, and I'm trying not to cry so much today. I need a minute. So I'm sitting here counting on this blanket, and it's, you do have to count all the time in crochet. Well, this one, very, very, very easy to get off on your numbers, because there are 4 stitches between each set of increases and decreases. And boy, if you get off, then your whole ripple will be off. And I just got off again, and I don't know where, so I have to go back and figure it out. And it's frustrating, to say the least. A while ago, I was like, why is my numbers not coming up? What is wrong with this thing? 2 rows back, I had put 3 increases in 1 row. And like, there are 2 increases, 4 stitches, 4 double crochets, and then 2 decreases, 4 stitches, 2 increases, 4 stitches, 2 decreases. I had put 3 increases and somehow got to the end of the row and the number came out right. I mean, usually by the time you get to the end of the row, because it ain't going to come out right at the end of the row. How did I do that? I get on the next row, and so it's not like 2 rows back, like the row back, the previous row. So anyway, I get to that point and I'm like, why does this look stupid? Why is it not lining up? Every one of them has to line up. Your increase has to be on top of the previous increase on the row before. I couldn't figure it out. My eyes was crossing. My eyes are crossed anyway, but they were really crossing. I was like, what is wrong with this thing? I had to pull the whole thing. This is worked up. You work the length of the blanket, not the width of the blanket with this, so it's a waterfall. Squiggly lines going up and down the length of the blanket. So it's long. I had to pull the whole thing out, and then pull the whole thing out, and go back to my boo-boo after I figured it out, and it took me a while. It was like, looking at it, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with it? And I was counting and counting and counting back, and I was like, these are all right. And then I realized it was the previous row. Oh, crap. Now pull it out, pull it out, pull it. And then when you pull it out, you run the risk of your yarn knotting up on you. So I do all that, and then I finally get back to the next row where I was. I do a few more stitches, and there was a factory knot in my yarn. Because this is Karen Anniversary Cake. So another frustration. And so, me and my emotional self, I started crying. I was like, I just did all of that, and now I have to deal with a factory knot. Yep. It doesn't help that I'm in menopause. So it was just really frustrating to do all of that and then have also a factory knot. Like, why? Why? Karen needs to do. I love Karen cakes. I really do. But holy crap. Why does there have to be so many factory knots? Y'all with me? Tell me in the comments. Because why? Do better. You charge us out the nose for the freaking yarn. Do better. It's ridiculous. I'm just screaming. I'm not just saying. I'm just screaming. Stop with the freaking factory knots. They're everywhere. I don't even know. I can't even tell you how many freaking times I've had to cut my yarn in this blanket because factory knots. I'm not going to trust a factory knot. Anywho, moving on. I had to have that little bit of a rant. Let some of my old personality shine a little bit. It's in there. Underneath the grief. It'll come out. It'll come out every now and then. So I wonder if anybody has tried to make this blanket yet. And if you have, how's it going? How'd it go? Did you make the whole thing? Can you show some pictures in the, what is that thing called where you can go in, like where we can chat in the thing? I don't know what to call that. Where I go in and tell y'all my reasons for not posting videos, and y'all can comment on it. Y'all can actually post pictures in there and chat and stuff. So I've been, the way that I do mine, and I'm probably going to do the next one that I do of this particular ripple, the way the waterfall, I decided not to call it the peppermint candy or whatever it was I was calling it for Christmas. Because it's not really that color. I don't know what to call it, but it's the waterfall. It's just that this one's not colored like a waterfall. I got, anyway, the way that I'm doing it, I do 12 rows of the anniversary cake, and then 4 rows of the slice of anniversary cake. Why? I don't know. It's the same way I did the first one that I did. I just threw it together like that, and it came out pretty. It was a happy accident. It's the same way that I come up with, I wonder if this will work. These numbers fit together, so let's just keep going. And that's what I did. In fact, the first one I think was half double crochets. This one's a double crochet. Because I went back and I was looking at it, and I was like, this one looks different. And I was pulling it apart because it's over there. I was trying to sell it to raise money for my mom's funeral, and no one wanted to buy it, which is an insult. Really? You don't want to buy for as cheap as I'm trying to sell it? Fine, I'll keep it. It's warm and comfy and squishy. I will keep that sucker. I don't want to sell it anyway. So, anywho, I was looking at it, And it's been washed 3 times now. Ain't never come apart. It's perfect. Perfect. Smells good too. So anyway, I'm looking at it, looking at the stitches, and I'm pulling it apart. I'm doing this one in a double crochet. That one is definitely half double crochet. So when I did the tutorial, I told y'all double crochet. And that's what this one is, double crochet. That one is half double crochet. So you can do it either way. You can do a double crochet or half double crochet, and it'll be fine. Just whichever your stitch preference is, really. How you want it to look, whether you want it to be the longer stitch or the shorter stitch. But that one's definitely half double. All of y'all seem to like the waterfall blanket, so if you want it to look like that one. I don't know. I didn't remember doing the half double. I don't even like half double crochets. Why did I do that one in a half double? I have no idea. Probably because I started it out to see if that stitch combination would work, the numbers. Because that's a lot of the times when I'm trying to see if something will work. I want to do something that's not going to waste a lot of yarn. Want to see if, I don't want it to take a lot of time, blah, blah, blah. I'm just messing around. And then this is turning out really pretty. And then I just kept on going. And it turned out really pretty. So, I don't know. It just really looks like a half double crochet. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. Pretty sure it's a half double crochet. I think it is. But anywho, this is double crochet all the way through. And kind of a yarn eater. Not too bad, though. Not too bad of a yarn eater. But I really like it. I'm probably going to make more of these. I like the yarn. I've been looking at other size 6 super bulky yarns that are squishy. Not all of them are. I figured out. I kind of like that Lion Brand Woolies. I think it's the Woolies. One of them that's just got, there's a size 5 and a size 6 yarn at Michael's. I don't have a lot of selection here. You would think I would since I'm in the Oklahoma City metro, but I don't. Not really. Not that I can afford. Anywho, I like a bulky or a super bulky yarn, especially for a blanket. And if you want a big blanket, it takes a lot of yarn. So anyway, I've been looking at some. And the selections that they have are not. I don't know where I was going. My brain just kind of went off the cliff, really. I don't know. But anyway, you kind of get my idea there. That you got to have a super bulky or a bulky yarn to make it squishy like this. And that's what I like. A worsted weight yarn isn't going to do it. You can make this blanket with a worsted. A number 4 worsted, but it ain't going to be squishy. And that's what I like about it. Make sure you're working in the back loop all the way if you do this blanket. That's another thing. Except on the end, the very last stitch. And the very last stitch, you work it both stitches in the same stitch. The first stitch you do is in the back loop, Then you work back into the same stitch, but in the whole stitch. You got to work it in the same stitch, but in both loops. So that way you've got, it's sturdy. Yeah, you don't want to work the whole thing. You don't want to work it in just the back loops. You have to work back into the same stitch, but in both loops. Anywho, so that way you get to the 4. And then what I do when I'm starting my first stitch on the next row is I do a stacked single. And then I go back in to make both ends the same. I go back into that same stitch and work in the back loop of the same stitch. I do my stacked single, and then I work into the back loop of the same stitch and do a double crochet. And then it's 3 more double crochets into the back loop, and then start with the decrease. 2 decreases, 4 doubles, 2 increases, 4 doubles, 2 decreases. That's the pattern. It's easy. All in the back loop, except for the ends, where there's 1 on each end, not in the back loop. And that's the waterfall. But it's work up and down, not side to side. You work the length. So your chain is long, however long you want your blanket. I can't remember I can't remember the number now. I've got it written down somewhere, and of course it's got to be in my video, the tutorial. Is it 7 plus 2? 7 plus 3? 7 plus 3? But it's 7 plus 1 if you do a stack single. I think it's 7. I don't know. I'd have to look at the video. See? I came up with it just out of the blue. I don't know. I've only done 2. This is only the second one I've ever done. I'm not a pattern writer. I'm definitely not a tutorial person, but I tried. I'll get there maybe. We'll try. I did write a pattern, and I tried to get some help from AI, and it was almost funny. I thought, well, I'll do the whole pattern, and then I'll get AI to help me with just doing the particular parts where it adds I'll get it to add what materials I'll need for it, and all that stuff. AI sucks. We can talk about that. What y'all think about all of the hoopla surrounding all that business? There are AI crochet channels. What the heck? I watch all kind. I'm looking at my TV. My TV's on, and I've got YouTube on. That's all I watch is YouTube. Except for lately, I've been watching Yellowstone. That's a pretty good show, actually. But anyway, I can't believe I've never watched it. But now I'm on like season 3. I just started watching it a couple days ago, and I have continuously watched it until I'm on season 3. But when you're depressed and sad, you just go into watching stuff continually. But I used to work on a ranch, grew up on a farm. Anyway, so it's quite interesting. I used to cut cattle, and and do all that. That was what I did. So that I didn't just cut cattle, I worked cattle on horseback. So it's all very interesting to me. I love that show now. It's like, why did I never watch this? So there you learned something about me. A little. Too bad I didn't give you any details, but where was I? Oh, AI. There are, so when I'm in a YouTube, I'm usually in I was going to say, when I'm in a YouTube rabbit hole or whatever, I'm a crochet rabbit hole, I find there are several that I have run across definite AI channels. And if you're not paying attention, you may not notice it, but they're very fake. They're very AI. And I'm like, what in the world? And the stuff, I mean, they're stealing, they're stealing patterns from people, selling stuff, trying to get like pity views and pity comments and all kinds of crap. I mean, it's just pathetic. I hate it, and I wanted to scream and throw something at my TV. Like, what the heck? And there's got to be people behind it, putting them up there, but anyway, what I was saying about my deal with AI was I wrote a pattern for a scarf with pockets, a hooded scarf with pockets. Wait, did I put pockets on that? I may not have put pockets. I can't remember. I've got it upstairs. It's really pretty. I love it. So, and I used it. It got really, really cold and snowy here this winter. And I used it. I made it with this kind of yarn. Oh, my Lanta. That thing is warm. Maybe on my next video I'll show it. I don't know. We'll see. So, anyway, I'm trying to get AI just to help me with the logistics of the pattern. Just doing all of the tedious crap on the... No. It couldn't even do that. Like, I have written the pattern. All I need help with is just, putting the extra crap on it. It tried to change everything. And I'm a proofreader. So, I read through it's gone in and changed all kinds of crap in the pattern I wrote. And done everything else wrong. So, you can't even get AI to do that. I had to go back in and do it all myself. And I'm like, I don't even know if pattern writing is for me. I need to get a ghostwriter to do that crap. A human ghostwriter to do that, because I don't have the patience for it. I have ADHD to the nth degree. But anyway, so, yeah, I don't have the patience, like, because my brain, I can't do it. So, I mean, I can't focus long enough to do all that tedious stuff. I've got to have 900 things going on at the same time to, and I can't, like, focus to do it. My brain won't let me. It could be the MS. I don't know. Because I used to be able to focus on things a little bit, but I can't anymore. So, could be that. I'm weird like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm neurospicy. So, I need help. Help. So yeah, let's chat about that whole AI thing. Yeah, that's a frustration. It's got to be a frustration for more than just me. It's not just me. I know that. I know that's a problem. I know I haven't been off in the grief hole for so long that I've missed out on, or that I'm I'm behind the 8 ball on that. I do know that I missed something with Hobie, whoever that is. I guess they did something about AI. They're not doing AI stuff, are they? I don't know. I don't know what happened. So anyway, yeah. I have been so distracted in my brain that, with the grief and everything, that I haven't been able to focus on this or much of anything, really. I can't seem to get through a whole video. So for those of you whom I follow, sorry about that. Can't seem to get through a whole video. There are a few of you whose videos I'll watch for like, I don't know, a minute or two, and then I'm clicking off. Going to the next thing. Excuse me. If you watch this, anyway, sorry. I'll get there. I know that I'll go through my history and be like, the little red lines, like, I got through a couple minutes of it. I need to go back and watch that. Because it was not that it wasn't interesting, it's just that my brain just wandered off into grief and I couldn't finish it. I was listening to my Bible. Oh, well, my Bible's on my phone. I was listening to my Bible while I was crocheting this morning. I started with Genesis, and I was able to focus for about, I think, 10 chapters, and I got into 11, and then my brain was off into La La Land, so instead of not listening, I turned it off. I did bring myself back into focus and listen to the flood and some of the begats, or all of the begats through 11, and it got to Abram and Sarai, and I stopped listening and continuing with Genesis 12 tomorrow, with starting Abram and Sarai. Abraham and Sarah, they're just not renamed yet. So if you don't know that story, highly recommend. I do know my Bible, so my brain just went on pause, and I can't stay focused on any one thing for very long anyway. I'll probably, I need to go take my meds 10 o'clock in the morning anyway. Yeah, I'll try to start posting at least a little bit of something. If you watch this, thank you for taking your time and doing so, and subscribe, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever it is, subscribe, comment, whatever the things are. I'm not very good at that. I'm never going to get good at that, I don't think. I hope to get better soon. I'm working on it. Bless y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for being patient with me.